Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, licensed firearm holder fatally shot in Rollington town. The Kingston East police are investigating the murder of a licensed firearm holder who was gunned down Tuesday afternoon in Rollington town, Kingston. He has been identified as Kevin Johnson. Residents reportedly heard explosions at a premises along Rollington Avenue sometime after 4 p.m. Johnson was later discovered suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds. His licensed firearm was reportedly stolen by his attackers. A wrecker was summoned to remove the motor vehicle Johnson had driven to the location, the news has learned. The incident comes amid a sharp reduction in murders in the Kingston East Police Division. Up to June 21, the division recorded a 70% decline in murders, with 10 reported so far this year, compared to 33 for the same period in 2024. Kingston delivery man charged for allegedly soliciting funds for motor car. A Kingston delivery man has been charged with a conspiracy to obtain money by means of false pretense following an incident on Marcus Garvey Drive, also in Kingston, on Friday, June 20. He has been identified as 20-year-old Giovanni Thomas, a delivery man of Chisholm Avenue, Kingston 13. Reports from the Newport West Police are that about 2:30 p.m., lawmen arrested Thomas during a sting operation after he met with a complainant to collect additional money for a motor car he did not receive. The complainant had already paid a total of $800,000 to men posing as officials from a customs agency. He made a report to the police, and an operation to nab Thomas was initiated. Thomas was taken into custody later the same day, where he was subsequently charged. He is set to appear before the St. Andrew Parish Court on Monday, September 8. Woman fined $60,000 for smuggling contraband into prison on Mother's Day. A St. Catherine woman who tried to give her incarcerated son a thumb drive during a Mother's Day visit to a correctional facility has been fined $60,000 or 30 days imprisonment. The woman, Kenisha Gardner of Spanish Town, pleaded guilty during a hearing before the St. Catherine Parish Court on Monday. Guilty with explanation, ma'am, Gardner told the acting senior parish court judge, Janelle Nelson Gale, explaining that her son had advised her it was acceptable to bring the thumb drive, which she said contained music. The incident took place on Sunday, May 11, when Gardner visited the Tamarind Farm Adult Correctional Center and attempted to pass the device to her son. A correctional officer intercepted the attempt and reported it to a superior. The police were subsequently called in, and Gardner was arrested and later granted station bail. In court, Judge Nelson Gale reminded Gardner of the gravity of her actions, pointing out that the offense carries a maximum fine of $3 million under the law. This is a very serious matter, the judge warned, before stressing the importance of seeking proper authorization before bringing items into penal institutions. Gardner, who had no previous convictions, was ultimately fined $60,000 or ordered to spend 30 days behind the bars if the fine is not paid. Street in Falmouth left in darkness after illegal removal of lights, sees councillor. 12 street lights along the 1-mile stretch from the Marthabury overpass to the Falmouth market have been illegally removed, plunging the area into darkness at night, a local representative says. This activity has left the whole market street pitch dark at night, said Garth Wilkinson, councillor for the Falmouth division. Wilkinson, who has repeatedly raised the issue at municipal meetings, is expressing optimism that the lights will soon be replaced. Minister of Local Government Desmond McKenzie told Parliament recently that all 228 councillors across Jamaica will receive 50 street lights within the next 2 years. I have already applied for my allotment, and replacing those 12 on Market Street will be my priority, said Wilkinson. Karen Brown, customer service representative for Jamaica Public Service in Trelawney and the St. Anne, explained the steps involved in the replacement process. Each councillor has to apply to the mayor, who will forward the application to the ministry. After that, the decision as to the installations will pass on to GPS for action, she said. Local resident Chester Anderson welcomed the news of the pending replacements. The darkness along the street is an accident away from somebody being killed. The drivers refusing to dip their lights does not help. It will be highly appreciated when those lights are replaced, said Anderson. Police continue search for abducted Westmoreland businessman. The Westmoreland police are continuing their search for a motor car dealer who was abducted by a group of heavily armed men in Darlington on Tuesday morning. It is reported that about 7 o'clock, Gavin Myers, who operates a car mart in the town center, was at the establishment when a group of men in a Toyota Mark X motor car drove into the facility. They requested to purchase a truck on the car lot. It is understood that Myers was tending to the men when they pulled the M16 rifles before dragging him into the vehicle and speeding off. The news was informed that several security agencies are involved in the search for Myers and his abductors. JCSA says announced the salary increase for public sector workers disingenuous. The Jamaica Civil Service Association says Finance Minister Favour Williams' announcement that a movement of up to 3 increments in the salary scale for eligible public sector workers will amount to an increase in basic salary of approximately 7.5% for most persons this fiscal year is disingenuous. Minister Williams, in a statement on Monday, said the decision to allow movement up to 3 increments in this fiscal year was reached through discussions with the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions. Minister Williams contrasted the new arrangement with the system in place before reforms of public sector compensation in 2022. Under the older system, only 1 increment was granted annually, and only if an employee scored 75% or more on the performance management and appraisal system. But the JCSA President Tesha Clark Griffiths says a movement of up to 3 increments is not a gift.
What has happened, we should have moved every year by 1 increment. So it is something that we are entitled to from 2022. And what the minister did not say is that we would have given up our retroactive payments. So we did not get any retroactive payment from 2022 to 2025 on the outstanding increment because we considered country, and at the time we had burial, we looked at both issues and we recognized that it would have been a significant financial cost to the government, and so we considered that too. Organizations that are new, for example, the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, that is a constitutionally new ministry, those persons will not be qualified neither for increment movement until this year or for concessions. So we have lost some of our benefits, and persons who have been transitioned into new entities would not be so entitled. Therefore, there are persons in public service who will not benefit from either none of the increments. It means, therefore, that between 2022 and, as a matter of fact, if you come in on the 2nd of April, you would not be entitled to 3 because the circular says in your substantive post on or before April 1, 2022.
Police upgraded Bull Bay shooting to murder after victim dies. Police have upgraded a shooting investigation to a murder case after 39-year-old mechanic Dwayne Dakers succumbed to gunshot injuries nearly 3 weeks after being attacked. Reports are that around 9:30 p.m. on June 5, Dakers was shot by unknown assailants in the 12 miles area of Bull Bay. The attackers escaped, and the search is ongoing to locate them. Dakers was transported to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was admitted in serious condition. However, police confirmed that he died from his injuries at approximately 12:45 p.m. on June 23. The Yalasa Criminal Investigation Branch in St. Thomas is now leading a murder investigation into the incident. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.